This field is gearing up for 50 green flag laps. An invert of 15 has put Will Kirk and Jack Watts at the front of the field. Maximum Velocity Racing League Dirt Night in America is underway at Knoxville. Watts to the lead on the outside. Berkman will pull up to the outside now, challenging for that second position.
Good start for Watts on the outside. Now Berkman looking for the second position.
Michael Milfeld Jr. trying to make big moves up through the middle. Now will chuck 81 of Schulte. They're stacking up. No caution. Nope, there it is. They're still piling in here, and the caution will fly.
Great
here
restart
comes
from Crowder.
Exactly how he got to the front in his heat race. Tried to shoot the middle. This time it closes up, but he's right here.
Lehman is right here as well in the 50. He was underneath Michael for just a split second. Crowder still working the middle lane.
Oh, it's going to be tight. He'll slip back into line, but now he's going to shoot the middle again. Crowder is here.
Oh, contact! Big contact, Michael! I can't believe he saved it.
They both save it.
With Maul, he gets back into the back of Widener, trying to get the power down. Gets the back of that truck all yawed out. Comes down into the low line where Justin Michael is. Michael slams into him, and it is on from here. Maul just gets absolutely sent into the outside wall.
Norman and Watts side by side as we're bumping and banging for the lead.
Lehman had a big... Oh, still has a big run. He gives a little... Tries the bump and run on the 27.
Crowder said it. He's a racer's racer. He knows the way of the bumper here on the dirt track and how to handle one.
Well, Lehman, he's getting huge runs off the middle and the outside of the racetrack right now. He pulls even here into 3.
Crowder trying to catfish right along the berm on the inside. Lehman looking for a big speed boost off the banking on the top side. It's Lehman at the line. Can he find his way clear? Berkman up there as well.
That outside lane has definitely come in for the drivers. Just 20 laps into this race. Lehman is just about clear here on Crowder down the stretches. And he is now.
He at least rolled out of it, but he was trying. He may get it done this time. Big set. Oh, trouble on the front stretch. Under caution again.
Good start for Crowder. A little bit of a better start here for Lehman, but only 3 laps to make it work. Behind them, there's a big hubbub here for 5th. Slagle, Chalk, Greg Maul all involved in this one. Slagle has the 5th spot for now.
2 to go. Illinois Green is out. Crowder did clip the curb a little bit there, but he's still making time on Lehman. 4 more turns for James Lehman to try and make his way to the front as Tyler Chalk right in the wall all the way 3 and 4.
That Chalk way up in the wall.
We'll see if Lehman's feeling a Ross Chastain here in Knoxville. Otherwise, it's going to be Ashton Crowder back to victory lane.
Oh, he dives in through the berm!
It's going to open the door for Norman to move up to second, but Ashton Crowder takes the win in Knoxville. Dirt Night in America goes to driver number 27. Eight weeks ago, we started this crazy journey at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Yes, the new one. And ironically enough, this season since then has been all gas, no brakes. And you know what? That sounds just about right, as we have now pulled into the World Center of Racing for the 8th round of racing action in the revival season of Maximum Velocity. As the sun sets, we are just about ready for 65 laps of super speedway racing action. Round number 8 for Maximum Velocity is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Welcome to Daytona again. It's our second Daytona race in this week here on Turn 200. We're going back to Daytona on Monday, but it'll be the road course. So this is a good send-off for the Daytona Oval, I think. At least for a while here on Turn 200. Matt Williamson, are we excited to be back after whatever Monday was?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we come to Daytona, it's going to be great. Especially, I think the trucks just have a great package for super speedways. It's always very exciting, and we have a group of drivers here in Maximum Velocity that really get after it, but in a good way. They're not out here wrecking in the back for 25th place. They know what to do, and they get after it in a competitive manner. So it should be maybe the best one yet.
It's our second draft-style track of the season after we opened things up at the new version of Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's round number 8 here tonight. Hard to believe we're almost halfway through the season already. Let's go ahead and talk to a couple of drivers here. One driver that got on particularly well at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. Fourth in the points coming into tonight. Will Kirk in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you feeling ahead of Daytona tonight?
I'm either going to be really happy or really mad by the time this thing's over with. So, positive, hoping for the best. But I love this style of racing. If it goes my way, kind of like everyone else. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
And you've got some good speed, it looks like. Anybody that you're particularly looking to work with here tonight as the laps tick away?
Nah, my teammates last couple weeks haven't been showing up. So I don't really have any. Yeah, I don't have any partners tonight. But I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to being in the right place at the right time, and having a partner can help you with that. But most of the time, these races end in some wild scenario where you can't really plan for. So it kind of sucks, and it'll suck for, I don't know, most of the race. But I think it'll be fine as long as we can hold the draft. My ability to make moves in the pack is pretty decent, so I'm not too worried about it.
Well, I wanted to pull you up here, first of all, because I think you got a good shot at it here tonight. But also, to get you up in the booth, your family always comes out here and supports in big numbers here on the channel. So I wanted to give you a chance to say hi to them before tonight's race.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. They're awesome for watching. I mean, the support's great. My mom's actually visiting me right now.
All right.
I'm watching from her hotel room, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, appreciate you guys acknowledging them. They get a kick out of that, and yeah, thanks to them for always being here.
Well, best of luck to you, partner, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again at the end of the race.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. You have a good night.
So that is Will Kirk, and who else can we pull in here? I talked to this gentleman a little bit earlier tonight. He was asking about some graphic stuff, and he got his name called out quite a few times last week. We'll pull up Matt Burkhart into booth 200. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Welcome up to the booth. How are we feeling about Daytona tonight?
I think it's going to be a good race as long as I get up with the Bandon Motorsports teammates and work to the front.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got your name called out quite a few times last week at Knoxville, running up towards the front. So got to be feeling pretty good after getting up front and mixing it up to carry a little momentum into Daytona tonight.
Yeah, I love racing these things on dirt. It's fun putting these things sideways and not wrecking it for a change. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona. I just want to thank Bandon Motorsports and my wife for letting me do this.
All righty, partner. Well, best of luck to you, and maybe we'll talk to you again after the end of the race.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good broadcast.
All right, a couple drivers up into booth 200. Matt Williamson, as we get our final seconds of practice out of the way. One new driver in the field tonight, and he just so happens to be at the top of the speed charts at the end of practice. Wade Shida, I do believe, is how you pronounce that gentleman's last name. But he clocks in a pretty good lap here before we send it into our regular MO for qualifying. 5 minutes, 3 laps around Daytona, so best of 3. I love the 3-lap qualifying format. I want to steal it, but it would be too obvious because these guys are the only ones that do it that I know of anyway. But we got 5 minutes of qualifying here before we set the grid for round number 8. After round number 7, Dirt Night in America at Knoxville last week was a resounding success. What are our points looking like?
Taking a look at the point standings here. Justin Michael continues to lead the points. He gave up a few points to the driver who is now in second. That's Ronnie Norman. Norman's 18 points behind. Had a big last lap to pass and finish second last week at Knoxville on the dirt. And hoping for another big night tonight. This one's definitely going to be a little bit different than last week, but everybody has a shot here at Daytona. It was an up-and-down night, quite literally, for Greg Mall last week, but he ended up finishing decent still after going for, he was looking at the dirt with the bottom of his truck for a minute. He's still third in points. Not a very good week for Will Kirk. He drops 2 places to fourth. Brad Slagle jumps a spot to move into the top 5 after a strong run last week. Andrew Schulte drops to 6th after some problems, and many people may be surprised to see Ashton Crowder down in 7th, considering he's won 3 races this season, but he has missed 2 races, so that's why he is down there in 7th place. So all things considered, he's looking pretty good for missing a couple races. A podium for James Lehman has moved him to 8th, Bill Paradise, and Michael Milfelt will round out your top 10 here.
Absolutely. Good stuff as always here for the birthday boy, Matt Williamson. Congratulations on another revolution around the sun, partner, and happy that you have chosen to spend at least part of your special day with us here in the booth on turn 200. And your birthday cake, I think, is going to be 65 laps at Daytona. Absolute insanity is inbound here, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have alluded to it already. These guys are very, very competitive, and at a place where, 3 wide is tight, but I feel like this is the group to make it work, and they could probably do it all night if they really wanted to. So I think we're going to maybe see a lot of that here tonight, but we'll have to see how it unfolds.
Think of how much more intense New Atlanta is compared to Daytona. And then think back to the fact that I think we only had 2 cautions at the New Atlanta, and the first caution didn't come out until near the halfway mark of the race. I mean, it was an incredible opening stretch to that race. Once we got the cautions, things kind of unfurled a little bit more, but it was still a fantastic display of pack-style racing. And now they're going to have a little more space to operate with as well. So, like you said, it's these guys know how to get after it, and they are going to do exactly that here tonight. Maybe to the tune of more than 2 cautions. We'll have to see. If Monday night is any indication, we are certainly in for several cautions tonight. If you go ahead.
Well, I don't know if it'll be exactly the same. I think it may be a little bit more buttoned up. Monday night, I think we had some first-time super speedway drivers, so it was a little bit more chaotic than you might expect. I think we're going to see it buttoned up a little bit more here.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Truck 200 is our Monday night in-house league, and the all 3 of the races from this season are available on the channel in a nice little playlist there. Have been some great racing. I mean, really the last month has been just home run after home run on the channel across all 4 of our series. We run Monday through Thursday for now. Monday night with Truck 200, Tuesday night with the Venom Truck Series. They are in their final 2 races of the season. And then Wednesday night, the Daredevil Series is heading towards its season finale next Wednesday. And then we'll have the ASRL Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship on Wednesday nights. And then pretty much till the end of the year, we have Maximum Velocity here on Thursday nights. Time has expired, and the field is set. One driver that we have not mentioned at all here tonight, who has had a down on his luck season, looking for a big turnaround tonight, that is Scott Patton. He takes the pole at Daytona, lining up to his outside, making his first start of the season, Wade Sheeta in truck number 12. Justin Michael and Ashton Crowder, a power duo there on row number 2. Second of the points coming into tonight, Ronnie Norman will line up in 5th. How about Brian Troy, P6 qualifying effort for driver number 44. Wally Terheimer is back in the field here tonight. He rolls off on the inside of row number 4. Your Atlanta winner, Kyle Chadwick, has missed the last 2 races after a disappointing finish at Chicagoland. He is looking for a big bounce back tonight in P8 on the starting grid. Christian Snyder on the inside of row number 5. Seth Bowdy rounds out your top 10 starters. Matt Rodolasso, a podium finisher from Atlanta. He starts at 11. Zach Bowdy to his outside at 12th. Rob Haynes and Charlie Widener there on row number 7. Doug Heveron, Will Kirk, 4th of the points, 16th on the starting grid. Ryan McRoberts and Rod Minton on row number 9. And John Pansilla and international Kerry Cleaver round out your top 20 starters. Heath Smith and James Lehman, teammates on row number 11. Andrew Schulte back in the field in 23rd. Christopher Howell, who's outside in 24th. Actually, Schulte and Riley Burkma will have EOL penalties after some international wrecking at Knoxville, if you will. Intentional wrecking. Greg Mall, 3rd in the point. That's an inside joke. Greg Mall, 3rd in the points, 25th on the starting grid. Johnny Hamby is looking for a good oval run after he's had some good starts to oval races. He starts 26th. Jack Watts and John Ledger on row number 14. Josh Scott and the People's Champion, Bill Paradise, round out your top 30. Riley Burkma, EOL, he is slated to start in 31st. Brad Slagle, top 5 in the points, way back at the starting grid, 32nd. We talked to Matt Burkhart a little bit earlier. He starts in 33rd. Chris Voiles to his outside in 34th. And Nicholas Bradshaw, your 35th and final qualifier here tonight at Daytona. 65 laps, Matt. We've got the old strategy notes fresh in the mind. I will say, though, I put a misprint on your facts sheet there, because 30 to 35 laps was what we ran on Monday for the fuel window, but it's 70% of that here tonight. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know what 70% of 30 to 35 laps is?
I'm going to say 26 laps.
That sounds good to me. That wasn't a question I had the answer to. That was a question for you to solve.
I thought it was a test because you knew the answer.
I don't know anything. That's why I'm here.
I'll do the math here in a second, but we're gonna look at the track conditions here tonight. We're looking at 80 degrees, so it's cool, and it's only gonna get cooler from here on out. So the drivers are gonna be able to not that tire wear comes into a huge play here, especially when we're gonna be on 70% fuel capacity. But I mean, if we get a couple of green flag runs at the end of the race, handling will definitely come into play, so that will be something to pay attention to here throughout the night. Like we mentioned, 70% fuel capacity. I'm going to guess 26, 27 laps, somewhere around there. They do have 3 extra sets of tires, but will likely only use maybe 2 at the max, depending on where our cautions kind of land here. If we have some 0 fast repairs, that is the big one that we want to pay attention to here tonight.
The sun is beginning to set. A race under the lights at Daytona is on the way. Creeping up on halfway on the season. Round number 8 of 20. Scott Patton looking for a big night. He starts from the pole. Wade Sheeta to his outside. And we are underway at Daytona.
Good start here for the inside line. Outside line still trying to get formed up a little bit here. Kind of shuffling around in the back, trying to find a preferred line, maybe trying to find a couple people to work with. Also, a couple drivers just pulling out of this thing for right now. A couple drivers have just gone to the back. They're going to sit out, hang out, and watch the action unfold here for a little bit.
2 drivers started from the pits. Andrew Schulte, who had an EOL penalty to start from the pits. Nicholas Bradshaw as well has left pit road. And is about half a lap behind. And it's lap number 1 on the board, and it's Scott Patton's. Your sheet on the outside with help from Ashton Crowder. Brian Troy and Kyle Chadwick falling into line on the top side as now we're shuffling. Crowder finds some room and takes it 3 wide. A little bit different doing it in Knoxville last week and doing it at Daytona this week.
Well, I mean, that was just a circumstance that he kind of had to take that spot. Cheetah got super loose or just kind of went wide there out of turn number 2, and Crowder didn't want to slow down. He wanted to keep on chugging, so he said, yep, I'll go ahead and take that line, and everybody's going to follow suit with me here.
Patton and Michael on the bottom. Crowder advancing, trying to draw even with Michael in second. The pack is broken up a little bit with drivers rolling out. The top 26 are pretty well in touch here. But from Christian Snyder on back, they are starting to fade away.
Yeah, and it's by design for sure. They're just want to watch this thing for a little bit. I do think that if it was me, this is not the group I would want to sit back with, though. I think we're going to see some hard but probably clean racing from our drivers here at Maximum Velocity, and I think this would be a group that I would want to try to push towards the front. There's not going to be a whole lot of mistakes, and it's going to be very hard to get that track position back.
I think you're absolutely right. But wiggly on the top line there.
And on that shot straight down the backstretch, you got a really good shot of some of the trucks kind of weaving back and forth. A lot of that comes from just trying to follow the person in front of you. If they weave just a little bit, you kind of try to follow, and then you end up weaving a lot. And then the person behind you, they're weaving a whole heck of a lot.
It's Brian Troy on the outside pushing Ashton Crowder. Troy has made all but one race this season. I think he missed Knoxville last week. Finished top 20 at Atlanta. He's had some bad luck, but is making some hay early here. Trying to push Ashton Crowder, the winningest driver in the field, up to the lead. A little bit wide. Doesn't want to open the door for Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick will walk right through without any issue.
And you may notice on some of these wide shots, we do have a couple of those drivers that started from the pits. It's not going to be too terribly long before we catch them, and those are hairy situations generally.
That is Andrew Schulte and Nicholas Bradshaw. Yeah, they should be caught here in the next 2 or 3 laps, I would imagine. As the field is absolutely... Wow, what a move from the top to the bottom. Just inside of the top 10. Not sure who that was. It might have been...
Is it Foudy?
The 01 of John Pansola, I think.
I mean, that's the type of moves that you're going to have to make all night long.
He had a truck length gap, and he put it right in.
When you're looking in your rearview mirror and you see 2x2x2 as far as the eye can see, you know you got to take everything you can get here.
So we're thinking a 2-stop race, if our math is correct, which doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen.
Yeah, a little update on that. I did some of the math, and if we take 35, and 70% of 35 is 24 and a half, so I'm going to say 25 or 26 laps is probably going to be the number.
Lap traffic is in the tri-oval here with the leaders. They've just got them themselves sorted out, single file. A lot of S's there.
Well, now we're double file in front of them. This could get interesting.
They had just settled it, then they unsettled it, and now they are resettling it. As the leaders go on by, or at least will attempt to.
The leaders will get by. It's going to get hairy here in the corner for everybody else.
This has cost Ashton Crowder and Brian Troy a ton of time. They've lost 3 trucks to the inside. 3 truck lengths, now make it 4 or
they're trying
5.
to squeeze into this time.
Greg Mall below the line as everybody is shuffling behind lap traffic here.
Those 2 lap drivers tried to squeeze themselves into the top line, and the top line didn't want to let them in, but they got themselves in there.
Wally Turheimer and Matt Rodolasso are both a little squirmy here behind the top 3. Turheimer's clipped the apron a couple of times. Rodolasso has decided not to give him a couple of shots and had to roll out of it. And all that has slowed this inside line down just enough for Ashton Crowder and Brian Troy to get back after it. Oh, Troy off-center push. Turheimer and Norman both go below the line there.
We're going to go on board with Kyle Chadwick. He is 3rd in line here on the outside.
And Troy looking a little unsteady here, but it's getting the job done.
They have a big run here down the backstretch. You can hear the RPMs pick up here for Chadwick.
Ashton Crowder is ahead by a door, not enough to clear down, but he's side by side with the leader as Troy is all sorts of loose.
Yeah, big wiggle there from the 44. He's having a little trouble getting squared up here out of the corners. Just can't quite get to that back bumper as soon as he would like to.
It's the problem I would have when I didn't change my steering ratio from the default up to 16-1. Start weeble wobbling like that. You can ask the guys in the Todd G lobbies about that last weekend. I'm sure that's exactly what I looked like about times 10.
Oops,
Troy now with a big bump here. Gets Crowder clear down the back straightaway. Troy is... Oh, boy. I think Patton lifted to let Troy in. There was not much space for the 44 to squeeze in, but the top two have slotted in. Crowder and Troy. That moves Chadwick now as Troy... Oh, he's going to get back in the line. He's going to get away with that. Check up here on the inside line. They're checking up big time. And now, because of that, Kyle Chadwick to the lead with help from Seth Foudy.
Foudy goes from outside the top 10 to second here in about, 4 or 5 laps. That's how quickly it can change.
Yeah, move Scott Patton into a battle for 7th now.
Wow, and after being in the front, Troy is backing out of it completely. He did not like being up here in the front pack.
I'm sure it's nerve-wracking, but he accomplished at least a goal to push Ashton Crowder out to the front. Now Crowder is stuck 3rd in line on the bottom. Kyle Chadwick leading. Here's Wade Sheeta back to the outside now, with help from Will Kirk.
And we spoke of Will Kirk before qualifying started. Oh!
Wow!
And they lose
Pansula again.
Lose one on the outside to Pansula. He saw a hole and took it. And Kirk was just kind of, he knew what the beast was here tonight. He said he's either going to finish really good and be really happy, or he's going to be incredibly unhappy. So, he's pretty much just going for it here, and whatever happens, happens.
He did sound excited, and he raced very well at Atlanta. We got another lap truck here. I believe it's only one. It should be just the 32 of Josh Scott. But as Chadwick and Sheeta battle side by side, Seth Foudy helping on the inside, Will Kirk helping on the outside, Greg Ball, Ashton Crowder, the 3rd in line drivers. And an update on Brian Troy. After he rolled out of the pack, he is, completely lost the draft.
Now we've lost another one out of here. Seth Foudy's dropped out.
Seth Foudy drops out. Not only that, but he is now stuck behind a lap truck. He has lost... I think he's going to be further back than Brian Troy here.
Oh, wow. And I will say that depending on the setup here with the trucks, I didn't really test with this setup at all. You can get very, very uneasy into the corners depending on the setup in the truck. So they may have a tougher task than it seemed at the beginning of the night on their hands here. And it's already a tough task.
Oh, it's an incredibly taxing task, that's for sure. As Will Kirk, I think, is going to be clear, but not by much. Sheeta fighting back on the inside. Good pushes from Chadwick up to Wade Sheeta.
And that outside line continues to lose numbers. We've seen a number of drivers pull into the bottom as soon as a spot is available.
The top 6 are battling away here. The next 2 drivers behind them are battling for the lucky dog. Andrew Schulte on the inside, Nicholas Bradshaw on the outside. Both 1 lap down. After starting from the pits, they got swallowed up rather quickly here, as that could have been bad. Put up a great opportunity here for Will Kirk. And for Greg Mall, maybe, to drop down if they want.
Mall not quite clear. Kirk decides to stick with the 7.
A little bit of pushing the pusher.
Outside lane starting to compress those trucks together a little bit. The 25 of Bradshaw just doesn't seem like he wants to get very close to the 01, and Bradshaw is a lap down here.
Well, Well, now he's going to have his hands full with the 0-2 of Zachary Foudy, who's going to take him 3 wide. Foudy will try to move in behind the 0-1 of John Pansilla. And as he does that, the inside line pulls ahead. Sheeta is clear to move up if he so chooses. I'm not sure I would put Kyle Chadwick at the front of a line right now. You might not get another opportunity to take it back.
Well, we also saw him in Atlanta make a lot of bold moves.
Hauling the mail, quite literally.
Hey, Tommy, you know something we don't do very often?
I think I catch a drift here, partner.
Let's go ahead and crank this thing on up.
Turn it up, son.
All right,
Kirk has had great runs, great opportunities to get down, but he just chooses not to.
Well, I think he's seen that pretty much every time somebody goes down to the bottom, they usually end up getting leapfrogged. I mean, he's had the opportunity to do it. He just hasn't taken it. And I think he knows if he goes to the bottom, he's going to give up his opportunity. But here goes.
There we go.
Maul in the 7. He says, all right, if you're not going to take it, I will.
Why not? Opportunity knocks, and Greg Maul answers. Put the 7 up to the lead.
And Pansula will now be the pusher on the outside.
Oh, he's looking a little uneasy here. Zach Foudy behind John Pansilla. The front 3 on the bottom line are Greg Maul, Wade Sheeta, and now Kyle Chadwick. Don't look now, Ashton Crowder is pulled back up into the mix here as well.
Oh, and now Kirk will go to the front.
Kirk will finally drop
bottom.
down. I think pit stops might be starting here. Heard a couple of chirps over the radio. Watch for Greg Maul. I think he's one that called out here.
Kirk coming here as well.
Quite a few drivers. Kirk, Maul, Schulte, Lehman, Cleaver, Patton, Burkhart, Haynes, McRoberts, Turheimer, Mitten, Widener, Voiles, Rodolasso, and Berkma all in this time.
Yeah, that's a big, big group right there. A lot bigger than I feel like we usually see, especially on the first group of takers.
I mean, there are only 10 or 11, 14 trucks in this lead pack. That's about all that's left to go. Several drivers hitting pit road this time is the call, including Heath Smith. Here's Pansula. Smith, Bradshaw. So 3 trucks and Bradshaw into the grass and around.
And
Jack Watts, Johnny Hamby, and Bill Paradise all in as well. Man, that was close.
Oh, that was just an awful entry there for Watts after having to slow down. He then had a truck on his inside and couldn't get down as quickly as he wanted to either.
Here comes Crowder. Oh, boy. Chadwick nearly hit Sheeta there.
Oh.
And locks it up. Wow. That was a daring pit entry.
Yeah, what an entry there for Crowder. So only 3 drivers left here on the lead lap that have not come into pit yet. It's Christopher Howell, Brad Slagle, and I think the 19.
Yep, John Ledger is yet to come in. I think they are pitting this time.
There is another truck here in this group, but that is a straggler from another group.
Whoa, way wide. Slagle into the grass.
And up front here, Crowder. He has had the best strategy and pit stop of the night. That second group has leapfrogged the first, but the first is now coming with the head of steam.
Chadwick and Crowder both had excellent pit entries. They got out well ahead of the rest of their group, but should slot in here with the first group. As I think about the top 15 are all going to be within draft range of one another. Maybe more, depending on where this group comes out.
This is Howell in the 88, just coming out of pit road. Everybody has to go to the second or third lane to stay away from him.
Howell should be able to catch a draft here. You see Brad Slagle down on the apron will have to come serve a penalty, I'm sure, for an improper pit road entry. Whoa, big movement there. I think that was Ashton Crowder. May have gotten a bump from Kerry Cleaver.
Yep, Crowder, he tries to go to work here on the outside, but everybody is slotting into the bottom. He will now be the first truck on the outside, but he's about 6 truck lengths back from the leader.
Boy, this second group is awfully close to not being in touch with the lead pack. They need to get it sorted out here very quick from 14th on back. Hamby, Smith, Turnheimer, Sheeta, Norman, Ledger, some big names here.
Yeah, they're battling side by side right now. They need to get single file. I think they're going to be okay here.
They might be all right. What helped them immensely was Christopher Howell still getting up to speed. Sort of bridged the gap a little bit.
And now look at this. Around the outside, Kirk pulled out in front of Crowder. And Kirk was clear again, but decided not to take it again, just like the first run.
Kirk right back to his ways on the top side here. Lap number 27. Green flag pit cycle is complete. We'll need to do another one if indeed we get the opportunity for another green flag pit cycle. Been a couple of close calls, but no cautions as of yet. Justin Michael has found his way to the front here. As Ashton Crowder, boy, an off-center push there with Will Kirk. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, it's easy to get comfortable. If you get away with a couple, it's easy to get comfortable and feel like you can do it all the time, but it will come up and bite you big time right when it counts.
Kirk again is going to get clear. Is he going to take it? This time he will. So after much deliberation last time, elected not to take it. This time, no hesitation at all. Right down. And Ashton Crowder is dropping here pretty quick. Crowder's help on the outside is the 32 of Josh Scott, I do believe, who is 1 lap down. Nope, that is not correct. I'm sorry. I'm still having the training paints bug, so I'm still having to learn who is who here. No, that's actually Ron Mitten on the outside. which we have not got to call out Rod Mitten's name here tonight. But he is making hay up here, pushing Ashton Crowder up, trying to get him up to the lead.
Crowder just a nose in front, was not able to clear there down that stretch. Oh, and Kirk is going to block the top side.
That is going to stack them up here big time. Michael going to take advantage on the inside. But Kirk actually now, they get it sorted out rather quickly. Kirk is still able to go down if he wants. He may try and bring Crowder with him.
Yeah, Crowder was also cleared. They stick on the top side. I thought Crowder was going to leave Kirk there for a second.
Bold move for Will Kirk. Inside will have a run. They're still clear to come down if they want to. Mitten with a little shot to Crowder. Crowder keeping Will Kirk out in front here. But now Maul pushing Michael right back underneath of the 9. Top 19 drivers on the score sheet. I think one lap truck mixed in here. So 20 trucks in this lead pack. As Kirk leading the outside lane, Justin Michael leading the inside. Oh, not clear that time. Tries it. Michael not going to budge.
Yeah, this bottom lane has gotten some big runs down the backstretch, and they just come so quickly on the bottom there. Kirk thought he was easily going to be able to clear, but Michael was there before he knew it.
That's what you said earlier to your point about being comfortable and being complacent. He's made that move a couple of times at his own pace, but that time he was on Justin Michael's time, and he just didn't know it yet. Kirk will have a big run. Not sure he'll be able to get clear on Michael, but Crowder doing everything he can to make sure that he will get clear. Crowder is actually going to get clear as well. What a run by the top 2. Now they're going to move back down to the bottom. Rod Mitten, for the time being, will be in control of the outside line unless Kirk or Crowder elect to jump back up top.
Chadwick and Mitten on the top.
They need a little... not clear! They touch! Crowder and Michael! They both go around. Haynes is going to go down through the grass. We're still green. Oh, that's a problem. Haynes into Schulte. Brian Troy, caution is out. That all started with Crowder trying to move to the top line. Rod Mitten had moved into that space. They make a little bit of contact, and Crowder not able to hang on to it.
Go ahead and load up the replay here. You see Crowder moves towards the top. He is just not clear. Pushes Mitten up into the wall, and then Mitten tries to get off the wall, comes down into the 27, turns him loose, comes across the nose of Justin Michael. And then that inside line's trying to get checked up, so Rob Haynes going to go for a ride here in the bottom as well. You see everybody scatter there on that bottom lane. Haynes goes for the little jump there on the entrance of turn 1 in the grass. And he comes and makes big-time contact here with Schulte. Lehman a little bit of damage there as well as Troy. Oh, man. Damage for Turheimer as well as they're all trying to get checked up here. So 5, 6, maybe 7 trucks involved in that one. A good thing for Michael and I think Crowder. I don't think either of them really made a whole lot of contact with a truck or even the wall. So I think they should be in decent shape. As for the rest of them, I'm not so sure.
We just had a problem under the caution with Brian Troy checking up for the pace truck a little too hard. It spins it out. But I don't think he hits anything or anyone. Meanwhile, a flurry of activity on pit road. Pretty much everybody has come in. And Will Kirk wins the race off of pit road. He was leading the field when that first caution of the night came out on lap number 33. Greg Mall will leave pit road in the second position. Charlie Widener third, Rod Mitten fourth, and Johnny Hamby up into the top 5. It was actually James Lehman, I think, has stayed out, but you mentioned he was involved in that accident. I think just trying to lead a lap here is my guess, but maybe not.
See, quite a few trucks have stayed on pit road a lot longer than the rest of them. Even more so than just the folks that were involved in that incident. May have had some sort of damage with the wall or another truck that just didn't quite, result in an accident, but maybe a 2X or a 4X somewhere throughout this first stint. And about 8 to 10 trucks stayed a little bit longer than we would have expected to get some damage fixed there.
Unfortunately, I think it's the end of the night for Wally Turheimer. He is disconnected. I don't think anybody picked up a meatball flag out of that accident. At least I haven't been able to see anybody that has. Like you said, there were several drivers that are going to get pretty lucky, all things considered, with how little damage they have. Mainly Crowder. I'm not sure if Rod Mitten, I'm sure he's scuffed the numbers on the right side of that truck. But, I mean, it certainly could have been a lot worse for both of them. Michael as well is going to have some damage for sure, but still will be in this and will be trying to work his way back to the front here. What do you know? Our buddy James Lehman is full of surprises. He is just in it.
Well, part of the strategy is he knows that they can't make it all the way to the end on fuel, even if you take it now. You can get close, but you're not going to get all the way there. So maybe he's thinking he'll try to take some track position and hope that some folks come early so you don't have to take as much fuel on the pit stop. He'll be able to make it to that point, which will be in probably just about 10 laps where everybody will be very comfortable coming down pit road.
Well, there are a lot of people down in that Bandit Motorsports chat room. You know, I think he can convince 1 or 2 of them to pit a little bit early if indeed they go green that long.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you did.
You know, James Lehman has a little sway in these parts. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. But it's been a quiet night for the boss man thus far. But he's up 21 positions and will be in control of the restart on the inside. Will Kirk to his outside. Having a stellar night thus far. Wants to keep it that way. Greg Mall will line up on the inside of the second row. And Charlie Widener, who I feel like we talked about quite a bit in the opening 4 races of this season. And it's been a quiet stretch of late for the 95. Good to see him up in 4th. Rod Mitten still running strong here in P5. Johnny Hamby to his outside. Lap number 37 on the board. And we are back underway. Great pushes from Mall up to Lehman. Kirk looking for some help from Charlie Widener.
And I know we said that we wouldn't be able to make it on a tank of fuel, which is true, but you know, these laps are ticking down. This series does not go as long as a lot of our series do at a super speedway race, so there's really not a whole lot of time left here.
Oh my! How did he hang on to that? They're checking up through the field. But how did James Lehman not just go around in front of the entire field?
Maul tried to push through the tri-oval. It knocked Lehman loose. The bottom line has to check up, so now Will Kirk will take command of the bottom here.
Kirk moves to the bottom, but here is Charlie Widener with help from Johnny Hamby. Widener is clear to move down if he wishes. Hamby is as well. They take it with no time to spare.
And this is what I was trying to say. They are going to start getting desperate. You see Kirk already moves out to the outside. He doesn't want to sit in line on the bottom. He wants to be the one making the moves.
Kirk to the outside. Heath Smith behind him. Then it's Kyle Chadwick, and Rod Mitten has moved from the bottom to the top now as well. Bottom line, Widener, Hamby, Lehman, and Maul. Things are getting dicey here at Daytona. Not Ryan Dicey, just the regular Dicey.
Kirk still looking for the room on the top. Squeezes Widener a little bit there on the bottom. Trying to pull that line backwards.
Kirk has not been afraid to side draft. Got right down on the wheel wells of the 95 there. Trying to pull him backwards. As Heath Smith doing all he can to put the 9 out in front. Now he gets a bump from Chadwick. Is all sorts of out of shape. Don't look now. Ashton Crowder is making moves. Oh, don't look now, but Crowder nearly put into the wall. We'll drive back through the field here for the 27. Work is not over yet.
Yeah, he's trying to slice and dice as much as he can, but he's got to do it carefully here. He gets shuffled out to the outside lane. Nobody to help.
They cannot get on the same page here.
Luckily able to slot back in, just loses one position.
Got to go for it again.
Now he finds a little bit of help.
Foudy trying to pull up. That's Zachary Foudy.
And here
now Kyle Chadwick.
Oh boy.
Here we go. 3 lines at Daytona. Oh, Heath Smith crowds the 48. Oh, no! There they go. This could get ugly.
3, 4. Oh, they're wrecking on the inside as well.
Heveron gets a piece of it. Zachary Foudy, Matt Burkhart through the grass. Now it looked from my vantage point like Heath Smith certainly crowding the 48 on the top side of the track here, but it didn't look like they had actually made actual contact. It looked, on my end at least, like there was a bit of net code. Everybody stacks up behind them.
Take a look at the replay here. Where Gonna try to take a closer look. Attempting to find a good camera angle here. It's kind of difficult. And yeah, there is a really sudden movement there. As they come out of turn number 2. And yeah, Chadwick definitely gets crowded here. And I think Smith in the middle just gets kind of loose, and he does a little wiggle, comes up into the 48. And everybody, you can see everybody behind him. They're probably 7 wide all the way down to the wall trying to get around this thing. But for some, it just doesn't work. You see a couple pile in there together trying to get around it. And that will bring us to our last set of pit stops for most.
Again, a flurry of activity here on pit road. It's going to be awfully close. Charlie Widener wins the race off. Will Kirk in second. Greg Mall, Rod Mitten, and Wade Sheeta. And again, this is the first time we've had Wade on the channel, so if any fans of his are watching in the chat, let me know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I've been saying it a lot tonight, and it always seems to be the drivers I speak out with the most are the ones that I say their name wrong most often. So, I'd like to fix that. But if you're cheering on anybody tonight, let us know. I know we got Michelle Kirk in the chat. I think I know who she's cheering on.
Maybe.
Just a guess, though.
She's just rooting for everybody to have a good time.
See, that's my strategy. If everybody can have a good time, then that means that we're having a good time.
And that means we all win. Or at least we
Exactly.
do.
Yeah. So, truck that has stayed out is Josh Scott. He is 1 lap down, so he'll be looking to get the wave around here. After, I believe... I'm actually not sure who got the lucky dog. So Scott will move around and join the tail of the field. We still got 30 trucks on the lead lap.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Some with damage.
Yes, certainly.
Probably about 10 with some sort of damage up to this point. Maybe a couple more, give or take.
30 on the lead lap. 32 of our 35 starters are still on the track. Doug Heveron is 1 lap down in 31st. Nicholas Bradshaw is 2 laps down in 32nd. So 3 more cautions. They should be back on the lead lap. But are we really going to have 3 more cautions? It's Daytona.
Definitely possible. I'll tell you what, I think there's a few drivers who think it's possible because we had a few drivers come back down pit road to take a splash of fuel, thinking that if they get an overtime or two that they may not have enough fuel to get to the end. Those drivers are Scott Patton, Greg Mall, Kerry Cleaver. I think there was one more. Rob Haynes
James
was
Lehman.
the other one that I saw. Yes, James Lehman, you are correct.
So Lehman, all of a sudden, and teammates, like I said, all looking pretty good here to at least be closer to the fuel number than everybody else that has just stayed out. Let's see, laps are ticking away here, coming to 20 to go when we come back to the green flag this time. Charlie Widener in control of the restart with Will Kirk to his outside. Row number 2 will be Rod Mitten and Wade Sheeta. Row number 3 will be Johnny Hamby and Ronnie Norman. Ashton Crowder, John Pansilla, Justin Michael, Christopher Howell, your top 10. 20 to go. It's still anybody's race.
Better start on the outside line here than we've seen thus far tonight.
Neck and neck out of 2. Top lane, the little Bobby and Weavy. Pansilla down to the bottom. Leaves Kurt, Sheeta, and Norman all by their lonesome up top.
Little bit of shuffling there farther back. Close call on the bottom. Somebody had to go below the yellow line to avoid.
Justin Michael has moved to the top side. Christopher Howell has as well in front of him.
Somebody we haven't talked about much tonight is Rob Norman. He is third in line here on the outside. Excuse me, Ronnie Norman. He is third in line here on the outside.
Ronnie's night has sort of gone in. So
Oh, no!
that's a big one. Uh-oh.
Oh, it could get ugly. Oh, it's getting ugly.
Oh, no. Christopher Howell, Johnny Hamby. I think Rod Mitten has made it through, and everybody else has not.
Well, there are definitely a few drivers that had to make extreme evasive maneuvers, but I think more got through than you think.
I don't know, not without damage. I think everybody got at least a 1X or a 2X there, except for Rod Mitten. That was ugly. We saw an ugly one on Monday. That was just about as ugly.
Was that bowling shoe ugly?
I think it might have been bowling shoe ugly. Wow.
Well, let's go ahead, back it on up, and take a look. We're going to back it up a little bit farther here. Widener, not sure if it was just a bad push, a little net code. Looks like he gets tapped in the corner here from Mitten, and the 95 truck just doesn't like it. It's going to turn him up the track. Not really turn him, it just pushes him up the track, but Will Kirk is right there. Comes right across the nose of the 9. He goes for a hard hit Ryan Blaney style into the wall. And, man, the drivers up front, they did a heck of a job to try to save those trucks, but it was just too much contact. The trucks were way too loose. They all end up coming together. We see a lot of trucks. I think, a lot of these trucks did, get through with at least a minimal contact, if not, not a whole lot of.
Well, I'm not saying everybody is out of the race, but I think everybody except for Rod got at least, they at least got a parting gift, a gift bag on their way out.
We'll go ahead and go full speed here from the tower and take a look from hopefully a little bit of a wider angle. Oh man, you see, just scrambling, just big time scrambling here. Yep, that's the big one thus far.
That is absolutely massive. Again. I think it is meatball flags for Charlie Widener, Johnny Hamby, Will Kirk, Kerry Cleaver. But they, at least for Kerry Cleaver, I think he has gotten his cleared. I think Will Kirk has also gotten his cleared. Charlie Widener and Johnny Hamby have called it a night, unfortunately. Christopher Howell also has picked up a black flag. I'm not sure how, but he has. Well, well, well. It's Rodman and Ashton Crowder. Have they gotten into each other this race?
Got a couple of drivers we haven't really talked about much up here inside the top 10 now. Bill Paradise, Jack Watts, Ryan McRoberts. Really haven't called out their names all night, except for Watts. Had to slow way down and for an incident and kind of got way out of position. Now finds himself starting fourth.
And we talk about Ronnie Norman and Brad Slagle quietly having good seasons, but Bill Paradise, I mean, I feel like we have neglected to mention his name in most races outside of the starting lineup and the finishing rundown. I mean, the ultimate quiet, consistently good season thus far for Bill Paradise, and hopefully this isn't a jinx, but 5.56 sitting in third here on what very could well be the last restart of the race. Not likely, but it could be. And Jack Watts has gotten up front and made some noise, and I don't really think has gotten the finishes to show for it, unfortunately. That could change here tonight as well. Rob Haynes had all four tires up off the ground in one of these cautions. Is riding in fifth now. And Ryan McRoberts, who joined the league last week at Knoxville, didn't have a great night. Tonight is looking a whole lot better here all of a sudden tonight at Daytona.
You have to be aggressive, but you also have to do it smartly. That's the difficult part.
At some point, critical thinking at Daytona goes out the window and becomes a fight or flight response. We'll see when that happens. Great restart here for Rod Mitten. Bill Paradise going to block off the inside for Ashton Crowder. Watts pulling up to the 27. Crowder will have a big run as well. Paradise and Haynes there.
We got one in the middle here. That's McRoberts. Not sure how this one's going to shake out. He does have a truck behind him now.
Oh, block from Crowder up to Mall, who's getting shoved by Shelton. There goes Watts. Watts, Mitten, Paradise. Rodolosco, Patton up into the wall, Josh Scott, John Pansola. It's another mess. Oh, man.
That was the slowest developing mess I've ever seen.
Yes.
I thought for a second that they were going to be able to shake it all out, but man, that was just a cluster right in the middle there for a second.
So Jack Watts gets loose, moves down below Rod Mitten, then tries to come back up, but Mitten is there, and it is on.
I mean, we've seen pretty uniform racing up to this point. There was nothing uniform about what just happened here. And it's just a weird thing that happens. There's two trucks left in the middle. Crowder and Watts are on what they think is the outside line, but the actual outside line is in the third lane. So Crowder goes up to cover it off. And Watts is like, well, you're going up there. I got to find somewhere to go. So he tries to pull down to the bottom. He overdoes it, goes below the yellow line, and then, like you said, comes back across the nose of Mitten. It's just not there anymore. And there's just some drivers that they don't have time to get checked up. More takers on pit road here.
Well, what's really going to mess this race up for everybody is Ashton Crowder right now says it's raining. So, we might have to bring everybody down pit road.
Yep, the iRacing's definitely put the rain in the sim already.
Careful now.
Definitely
Don't
haven't
wanna
been waiting for that for a year or anything. I'm kidding. Thank you to the developers.
Yes, I love you, iRacing devs.
It's a tough task. We ask for a lot. And they've been pumping out good content, so.
Yeah, very excited for Kern County and hopefully New Zandvoort.
We just ask for one thing and one thing only.
Rain.
No. You know.
Rusty's Chicken Farm from NASCAR Racing 2003.
Okay, joke's over.
I don't know what you want.
The bid is done. The
I don't know.
Springfield Mile, damn it. We want the
yes.
Springfield Mile.
I do very much want the Springfield Mile. Yes. If we could get the Springfield Mile, I won't complain. I'll take the DuQuoin Mile as well. That'd be all right. One
Really,
dirt mile.
What would have been really cool is if they would have scanned the old Indiana Mile before it got shut down.
Yep.
That is such a shame. One of the best motorcycle races I've ever seen in my life was at the Indianapolis Mile, or the Indiana State Fair Mile. But thus I digress. We're at a 2.5 miler here at Daytona, and we are going to have just over 10 laps remaining here. 11 laps to go. I don't know if there's but maybe 2 trucks in the field that hasn't had some sort of a 2X or 4X here tonight.
Well, let me tell you. Oh, I'm blocked from seeing the incident count, unfortunately, so I can't tell you. Sorry for the tease.
We'll have to write that up in our contract next year.
Yep. Let me see the incident count, please, and thank you. But Ashton Crowder, we talked about all the drivers that haven't gotten much coverage this season. That is the opposite for Ashton Crowder, who has finished on the podium all but one race of his 5 starts this season. Tonight is start number 6, looking for win number 4. It's been a tougher road to get up front and stay up front tonight than it has been this season.
Yeah, but I think, to me, it's just wild that he has shown us on, literally every type of racetrack, he is going to be at the front. Even at a track that takes, everybody says it takes a certain amount of luck, he's here, and he's been here all night.
He's won on a semi-short track at Phoenix. Won at 1.5 miles. Has won on a dirt track, won on a road course. Now looking for a super speedway. Gathering all the Infinity Stones here. Crowder and Mall on the front row. Schulte and Michael on row 2. Paradise and Mick Roberts on row 3. Big jump here for Crowder. He is going to drop into line right in front of Greg Mall. Schulte and Mall waste no time getting up top. They'll have help from their teammate Justin Michael. They're all trying to get around as Crowder has no help. Looked for some help now, backing up to the 556 of Bill Paradise.
Yeah, Paradise closes quickly there out of turn 2. The first 2 trucks are clear if they want it.
Top 4 are clear now. McRoberts in here as well. McRoberts. Crowder finding back to the inside of McRoberts for fourth, but up front, it's Greg Mall, Andrew Schultz, and Justin Michael, your top three. Schultz down. Mall covers him off.
And Mall now pulls back to the top side. He likes the momentum he gets around this second lane.
Yeah,
oh,
but
wow, what a shot from Michael.
A lot of momentum from that inside line as soon as Mall moved right back up top and opened the door for a big shot from Crowder to Schultz. Now Andrew Schultz leading at Daytona. Rob Haynes is now third on the inside line. Where did he come from? Michael and Mall fighting back on the outside. McRoberts pulling up here as well. I think that's James Lehman now fourth on the outside line. Nine laps to go. These trucks are looking awfully dancy. Two drivers we might have to keep our eye on here if we can stay green. Teammates that'll be looking to make some moves. Ronnie Norman and Chris Snyder. Boy, just as I said Ronnie Norman's name, he about got door checked by the 48 of Kyle Chadwick. Oh, trouble in the back. Scott Patton and Riley Berkma have gotten tangled up.
I think Berkma is stuck in the wall. I think, oh no, he is able to back up, but heavy damage here to the 42.
I mean, I'm showing on my end a good foot and a half between Berkma and Patton. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have made contact, but that was an unfortunate incident for both of them.
Oh yeah, definitely some net code. Berkma was in the middle, came up the track a bit. Patton, who was running this outside line, and it just turns Berkma right into the wall. Patton tries to slow down as quickly as he can to get out of the situation. So definitely heavier damage for Berkma, but not insignificant for Patton by a long shot. Well, fifth caution of the evening, and will likely this be 4 to go or 5 to go when we come to the line?
Not a whole
lot. The green,
lot.
that is.
It's certainly going to be go time. I can tell you that much. I'll tell you that for free, in fact.
It's a $5 tip right there.
And the beat will roll on after Daytona tonight with maximum velocity. Next week at Iowa for 165 laps for round number 9 of their revival season. Good old Iowa Speedway. And then we close out the front half of the season after Iowa with Mid-Ohio. So this has been an interesting stretch of races here. Knoxville, Daytona, Iowa, Mid-Ohio. Run the gauntlet of challenging racetracks.
Yeah, Mid-Ohio, a tight road course. Or any car, especially a stock car.
So that'll be an exciting next couple of weeks here on Turn 200, just in general, but also with maximum velocity. Like I said, we've got leagues Monday through Thursday here. Soon to be Sunday through Thursday. As we have just announced recently that we will be doing our first official broadcast. We are doing the Sunday Top Split Strength of Field broadcast for the Mission R Challenge, the Porsche Mission R, the first all-electric race vehicle on iRacing. And their Strength of Field race on Sundays at 3 o'clock Eastern will be right here on Turn 200 at the start of the next season here, coming up in just a couple of weeks.
So it will be 4 to go. And we come to the line to take the green.
Andrew Schulte was the points leader for the first couple of races this season. Had 2 consecutive podium finishes to open up the season. Fell a little bit back after that. He's fallen on some more hard times after a penalty at Knoxville last week and an EOL penalty to start off the night. Remember, he was a lap down, about 5 laps into this race. But a couple of cautions have gone his way, and now the 81 looking to climb his way back out of the hole. Greg Mall, a winner at Chicagoland earlier this season. Of course, Ashton Crowder, 3 points-paying victories and the practice race winner. Justin Michael, a winner at Homestead. Those are the top 4 drivers. They've all had quite a bit of noted success. Rob Haynes in the 5th position. He's had a little bit of success this season. Ryan McRoberts. It's his 2nd race of his maximum velocity racing career. James Lehman, Bill Paradise, Christian Snyder, Wade Sheeta round out your top 10. Kyle Chadwick and Ronnie Norman, a power duo there on row number 6. Josh Scott, Matt Burkhart, and Rod Mitten, your top 15. Heath Smith, Brad Slagle, John Pancillo, Matt Rodolasso, Zachary Fowdy, your top 20. And then a lot of damaged trucks back outside of the top 20. 26 drivers on the lead lap.
And even though they have damage, I think all 26 still have some sort of a shot.
If you're riding in 26th in the top 25 wreck, partner, you got a win coming. 4 laps to go. Schultz and Mall. With help from Crowder and Michael.
Pretty even start here. Crowder's really sucked up to the back of the 81, pushing through the corner there. He makes it work. They edge out ahead of the top line.
We've seen some aggressive pushing up to this point from Michael and Crowder. That is not going to change here in the closing laps.
3 wide, a little bit farther back in this pack.
Christian Snyder moves up to the top side. Will pull in behind Ryan McRoberts. McRoberts is going to have to cozy up here to Justin Michael real quick.
And a 3rd lane trying to form. They just crossed the line. Only 3 laps to go. If they want to make it work on the 3rd lane, they're going to have to do it soon. It'll take a bit for that line to get going.
Time is running out, and everybody knows it. Bump from Snyder. He's a little bit out of shape now. Sends a shockwave back through the field. Big-time stack-ups.
Yeah,
3 wide.
And another one pulls out, but there's just nobody there with him for right now anyways.
Snyder trying to drag his teammate Ronnie Norman up on that third line. He's got a pretty good run going by himself up here. 2 laps to go. Fanned out 3 wide. Can we make it back around to the line? Norman getting the draft from Snyder. This may be the opportunity for the top line to get going. Schulte and Maul for the lead. Snyder with a big run.
Snyder was really pushing down there on that second line. It works. They get a huge run down the backstretch.
Their momentum's going to stall, but it's a 3-way dance up front. Snyder on the top, Maul in the middle, Schulte on the bottom. Top line stalls out just a little bit. We're going to make it to the line. White flag.
That looked like it was for the checker, but we got one more to go.
Maul out. He has his choice of lane. Off the front bumper of Justin Michael. Andrew Schulte fighting back here on the inside. Michael now free to move up to the top if he wants.
There's contact.
7 make it through. Snyder and McRoberts now make contact. It's Greg Maul and Justin Michael. Schulte not going to have enough time to make a run. Michael going to pull it to the outside. He's got the run. They touch. It's a dead heat at the line. Greg Maul by 4/1000ths of a second. Greg Maul doesn't know how to win him if it's not a photo finish. By God, it's his second win of the season and maybe 100th of a second combined margin of victory in his 2 wins. Incredible stuff. What a move by Justin Michael. Just that little bit short. Andrew Schulte in third. What a race.
Wow. With some contact at the line, Greg Maul in the 7 is going to burn the house down up against the wall here at Daytona.
Wow. Wow.
This thing is going to blow here any second.
And yep. No. Chevy power plant hanging on here. Yeah, Justin Michael only gets about half that mileage.
And I just want to point out that's a Ford, my friend.
No, well, you know what they say. I don't have anything for that, actually.
I was just going to say, what do they say? I'd love to hear it.
I don't know. Don't know if anybody's ever misidentified well, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here before we get into podium interviews. Then we'll do our full finishing rundown after all of that.
Well, yeah, it was something here towards the end. Oh, yeah, they're already wrecking. Let's go ahead and back it up. It's, this is the last lap at Daytona. We are 3 wide. Everybody is jockeying for position. And, yeah, this is just what happens. They kind of check up here in the middle. McRoberts is trying to push as hard as he can. He's third in the line. Chadwick is coming to push him, just trying to get that line moving. And that just doesn't work. McRoberts gets out of shape up into the top line, and everybody behind them has to check up, and that's where the chaos ensues. I mean, the back 20 cars in this pack pretty much all crash here. Or at least make some sort of contact. Go ahead and take another view from the box. This is what we were watching as this thing was unfolding. Just absolute mayhem here on this last lap. All right, partner.
So we'll talk about it more in a second. I'm not sure what happened to Ashton Crowder there at the end of the race, but he finishes the lap down at 25th. I think he blinked out at the session.
I did see
turns
somebody
3 and 4.
I did see somebody disappear. I couldn't tell who it was, but I think you're right. I mean, there was some contact between him and somebody else, and he was just gone. He just disappeared.
And it wasn't an Alt F4. It was an upload packet loss. So I mean, the worst timing for that in the history of blinkouts ever. But we'll give you the full finisher rundown here in just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and pull in our podium finishers. It was a wild night for a lot of drivers. I think one driver that could say they had the wildest night maybe would be Andrew Schulte. Welcome back to Booth 200. It's great to have you back up in the interview booth here and back up on the podium after a crazy night for you after starting from the pits.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about tonight. We had to fight for a lap back after going a lap down early on in the race, and we got caught up in a wreck, which we were in the lucky dog position at the time. And then we got we finally got our lucky dog at some point, and then I pitted to top off gas and didn't catch up with the field, and luckily caught a lucky caution to get bunched back up. And I don't know how I wound up here, but couldn't be happier after the journey that we had tonight.
Matt, what do you got for a P3 finisher?
Well, congrats on the P3. You were there on the bottom there at the restart. I mean, are you feeling comfortable there with Crowder behind you pushing? What are the thoughts here coming to the white flag and then to the checker?
Yeah, I mean, I figure he's so fast everywhere else. He was the best person to have pushing me there at the end. Also had two teammates up above me and knew that they were going to be hard to beat out there. And then the wreck happened and everything everything went up in the air. So I'm happy to see Greg get another win tonight. That was pretty cool. Happy that Bandit Motorsports here got a 1-2-3 finish. And yeah, couldn't really ask for much more after that.
Absolutely, it's your third podium of the season. Glad to see you getting back to your usual ways of running up front here. Anybody else you want to say hi to?
I want to say hi to sponsors out there. Shout out to Panda Paints for whipping up the Ty Majeski lookalike paint job. Shout out to the wife. She's currently on a plane back home. Haven't seen her a couple days, so I'm excited to see her. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that race. Ending was certainly exciting, so it'll be fun to watch broadcast back here.
Yeah, it was definitely an exciting one, and glad you could come out on pretty close to the top of the standings here after a wild night for you. So congrats, and hope to talk to you again here soon.
Thank you, sir.
We'll talk to your second place finisher by 4 1,000ths of a second. What a dash to the checkers. Justin Michael going to come up just that little bit short, but another outstanding run for you here tonight. Welcome back to the booth, partner.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys. We might protest that finish. I think I had a fender on him. I'm just kidding. I really didn't. But that was a good finish. I'm glad it was with Greg. Greg's a good friend of mine, and Andrew finished third, so we got a bandit 1, 2, 3 finish there. And I think some of the other guys ran really good too. I haven't even looked at the finishing order yet.
I think you needed to drive a Pontiac truck. That's what got it done for Ricky Craven. Just a little bit of a further out nose. I think you would have had it there. But
I might have. He gave me the Carl, like Carl Edwards did to Harvick at Phoenix. He gave me that little shot there, and I think that might have killed my momentum.
I was going to say, you had a whale of a run there coming through the tri-oval. We saw you roll out of the pack a couple of times. We saw you roll up through the field. We saw you roll towards the inside wall. I mean, it was an all over the place kind of night for everybody. Did you ever think? I don't know. Did you ever think that a podium was still in play here after all that?
Well, we got involved in a couple wrecks there, but surprisingly, I didn't have hardly any damage at all. I think the worst one was the lap 47 had like 25 seconds of damage on the front, but no, I didn't think I was going to be able to contend for the win, and then it just kind of worked out. Greg didn't have any damage, so I was able to just push him and ride behind him until that last lap. Got him out front and then kind of tried to snooker him there at the end for the win, but it didn't work out.
Matt, what do you got?
Congrats on the P2, man. We're so close. What are the team orders? Are there going to be any gnawings of the old jaw for damaging the trucks and a little more work back at the shop, or is everything all good down there?
No, everything's good. Nah, we don't do that. Everything's good here. We're happy that we got a podium and happy that we got the 1, 2, 3 finish as well, for sure.
To say podium lockout, it's hard to be upset with that, even if you guys trashed all 3 trucks. But anybody you want to shout out or thank here tonight?
Just everybody out there watching. That was hopefully that was a really good finish. Haven't had one of those in a while, and you guys call a great race as always. And just the Bandit guys, we always work together real well here at short track. Or this isn't a short track. It's although as many times as I was on the brakes, I thought it was, but no, we always work good here at super speedways, and so hopefully we can go. I don't even know when the next one is, but hopefully we do even better.
Well, there you go. Great run. I'm sure you extended the points lead here tonight. So congrats on that, and congrats on a P2.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
And now it's time to talk to the man of the hour, a photo finish at Chicagoland. I think even closer here tonight. Greg Mall, second victory of the season in spectacular fashion as always. Welcome back to the booth. What a wild race here tonight.
To say the absolute least, yeah. Tonight was no shortage of things to talk about, I'm sure, up in the booth, and things to dodge down on the track. So a lot of wrenches thrown in terms of strategy, and just talking with the teammates and just trying to figure out revising any strategy that we may have had here or there. And I'm just glad that we had at least 2 or 3 of us up towards the front to try and make something happen, to at least get one of us in the winner's circle tonight, and to steal the podium for Bandits. Definitely a great feat for sure coming out of here tonight.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of guys who had, Justin and Andrew especially had very up and down nights, but it seemed like you were pretty consistently towards the front of this field and fighting in the top 5 or fighting for the lead.
Yeah, with everything going on tonight, with all the cautions and wrecks and whatnot, it definitely shuffled the running order as far as the team was concerned. So just trying to find friends where you can, and thankfully with Bandit, we have a decent field as far as trucks in the field is concerned, and wasn't afraid of being lonely in a certain part of the race tonight. So just glad to be able to just kind of stay in contention and stay in the conversation. And, with those last couple of wrecks there at the end, we were just trying to roll with the punches there. And I think we got lucky tonight, but, we'll take it.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Well, I wasn't there for your first victory, so I want to congratulate you on that one as well, but congratulations tonight, too. Your team had a bit of an altering strategy there. I think it was around lap 43 or 44 that you all came in twice to top off for fuel. Were you concerned about not making it if you had, a green-white checkered or two there? Was that kind of the thought?
Well, I'll paraphrase it by saying yes. I don't know, with plate tracks, it's like you want to be conservative on fuel, but you also don't want to give up track position, and so I was kind of on the fence. We were still up, I think, towards the top 5 when I did decide with wanting to go to come in and take tires and top off. So it definitely wasn't something that I was the biggest fan of, but in hindsight, it's just. With 3 green white checkers here, it just doesn't take much to go into overtime here, and if you have to pit there towards the end for fuel, it's just I don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen at the end of these plate races for sure, and we just wanted to have enough of the piggy bank in case that were to happen.
A lot can happen, and one of those things is a photo finish, and you seem to be the master of coming out on top of those. I don't want to ask you to give away your trade secrets, but why do you think you keep finding yourself in this situation?
I don't know. I think we just gotta we got a great group of guys of bandits, and we're just trying to put each other in the best spot that we can to excel at the end of these races. And with plate tracks, it's definitely no exception. And we just, like I said, I just want to stay in the conversation in these races, and if we can restart these races, with being on the front row or the second row anyways, and just be there and be in a position to take the win, I definitely want to be in that position. So I don't know how I'm able to pull off 2 victories with 2 photo finishes at 2 completely different tracks, but I'm not gonna complain. I'll put it that way.
Anybody want to shout out or thank you today?
Well, of course, all the guys down at Bandit. Like I said, with Justin and Andrew, us sweeping the podium for Daytona is definitely a great feat for sure. We put a lot of effort and emphasis on these plate tracks to do good and be a good team and just trying to work together the best we can. With the other trucks in the field trying to mix things up and foil our strategy can definitely throw a wrench into that. So to just kind of maneuver through that and with rolling with the punches tonight, it's definitely an awesome feeling for sure. I gotta thank all the friends and family that are back home watching on Twitch and all their support. This is definitely a tense ending for sure. We're looking forward to seeing the rest of the season and how it turns out, and hopefully we can get a few more win stickers on the shitty number 7.
It's your second win of the season, 3rd podium. I do have to commend you for your perseverance last week after flipping the truck several times and still driving it back to a 6th place finish. That's almost impressive as the victory here tonight. So congrats on the good work of late, and keep it up. We'll be talking to you again here soon.
Appreciate it, guys.
Alrighty, now I'm not going to forget this time. Last time I put it off and we didn't do the finishing rundown. We're going to do it this time. So let's go ahead and pull it up if we still can here. Greg Mall, Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte. We just talked to these 3 gentlemen. How about Greg Mall, 25th to 1st as well? Didn't notice that until I just pulled that up right now. So plus 24 for him, undoubtedly the hard charger here tonight. Ryan McRoberts and Christian Snyder. They got into it a little bit over the radio after their last lap dust up there, but they are going to take their first top 5 finishes of the season. Ronnie Norman, 2nd in the points. He's going to lose some points here to Justin Michael, but a 6th place finish all in all. Not too bad for Ronnie. Josh Scott, 7th. James Lehman in 8th. Matt Burkhart and Brad Slagle, your top 10. Seth Fowney will finish in 11th. Wade Sheeta in his debut here tonight will finish in 12th. Zachary Foudy in 13th. Heath Smith and John Ledger, your top 15. John Pansilla will finish 16th. Rod Mitten down at 17th. Rob Haynes in 18th. Nicholas Bradshaw in 19th. And Will Kirk will finish this race, albeit with a considerable amount of damage. He is down in 20th. Kerry Cleaver, 21st. Matt Rodolasso, 22nd. Kyle Chadwick and Bill Paradise, your final 2 trucks on the lead lap. As we mentioned, Ashton Crowder blinked out on the final lap. He finishes in 25th, having not crossed the line. He has scored his 1 lap down in a DNF. That sucks. No way around that. It also sucks for Scott Patton, who was up in the top 10 most of the night tonight. 1 lap down in 26th. Christopher Howell, 27th. Riley Berkman, 4 down in 28th. And DNFs for Jack Watts in 29th. Charlie Widener in 30th. Johnny Hamby in 31st. Doug Heveron 32nd, Brian Troy in 33rd, Chris Voiles and Wally Turheimer. Wow. Wow. This stretch of races with maximum velocity has been one of the best stretches of any series that we've had here on Turn 200. Going back to Chicagoland Auto Club, Knoxville last week, and Daytona tonight. I mean, this has just been lights out racing.
Yeah, it certainly has, and I don't know. I think that's kind of what we expected, and I really expect it for this full season. I mean, these guys are just so fast, so competitive. We hear it every week in the interviews, just how much it means to them, and just super excited for the rest of the season. We have plenty of racing left here. I think we have 10 more weeks of racing left here with the Max Velo guys. So very excited for that. And really, we've had just spectacular racing on the channel in general from the folks that run our series that we put on, and the Venom Truck series as well. And we have much more coming up. I want to give a shout out to Jacob Nagy, Michelle Kirk, Nathan Reynolds, Chops, Dakota DeMade, and Chris Fulsend. I'm thinking that was probably Chris Snyder in the chat here tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in, watching, chatting with us, and tell a friend if they would like it.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who didn't like this tonight. So send it to your friends, send it to your enemies as well. Send it to whoever. Send it to your local representative as well. Maybe they could bring it to the House floor and enshrine us in law that this was a good race now and forever.
Amen.
Amen. That's about all we got here tonight on your way out of the stream. If you would like to scroll down and hit subscribe, we're going to throw a big old party when we get to 500 subscribers. So if you want to help in the cause, I think we've got one subscriber for every day of the year right now, up to 365. So that's pretty cool. But if you want to help bump that number up on your way out of the stream, please do so. And hit like on the stream while you're down there. It helps us spread the good word of maximum velocity racing and truck racing in general here on Turn 200. For everybody with maximum velocity, for the GOAT, the birthday boy, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we are saying so long from the virtual World Center of Racing, where Greg Mall ekes out another one. It's his second win of the season, and this time it's by 4 1/1000ths of a second.